like I am every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So welcome. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be working with one of my very favorite artisan brands, which is Nunn Design, and we're going to be creating simple yet dramatic jewelry. So I have an earring here to show you, and then we're going to make this here in the class. And you can see I left jewelry off specifically so you could see how dramatic this is, and you're going to see how quickly and easily we can do it. A couple other really cool things I want to tell you about before we get started is if you are watching this live, it is December 18th. We are having a really special sale, and it's our Deck the Hall sale, and it is 50% off of all Nunn Design, which is incredible because I've never seen that discount before. So it's 50% with the code NUNN50, NUNN50. You'll get half off Nunn Design, which is amazing. I am a big sale bargain person, so I love that. And then we're also having a special deal of the day as well on 3 Nunn Design items. And if you add those to your cart, and they are more than half off, you get free shipping on your order. So lots of really cool stuff happening. And I see comments coming in. And hi guys, I see Marianne and Tanya and Hazel. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Happy holidays. It's almost Christmas. I'm so excited. Next week. Hello, Santa Barbara girl. And I see Michelle and Eric are in the background as well. It is just the best time of year. I love this time of year. Okay, I want to have some fun and start making some jewelry. So I'm going to flip my camera down. Again, if you're just joining us, this is one of the pieces of jewelry we're going to be making using some beautiful Nunn Design components. And yes, Kat, the code is good on all Nunn Design. So NUNN50, NUNN50. So not just the stuff you see in my show today, but all Nunn Design. And it's today only. So thank you for that clarification. I saw Eric in the background, so that is very exciting. It is today only for that special sale. But we're going to be working with Nunn Design. We're going to make this really pretty pair of earrings. And then we're also going to either make a pendant or a pair of earrings, and you guys are going to decide using a cushion stone setting, which is really cool too by Nunn Design. All right, I'm going to flip the camera down. I see Tina's here, and Julie, and Deborah, and Susan. Hello, everyone. Let's go ahead and start creating. All right, so here is what we're going to be working with today. So this here is one of the Nunn Design pieces that we are working with. This is this beautiful hoop, and there's another one too, and they come in different finishes, and they come in different shapes, but we're going to be using this one right here in the really pretty bright silver. So you know, if you've worked with Nunn Design, you can usually get it in bright silver, antique silver, which is a little bit more like dulled out silver, or she has a beautiful gold, and there's also other components which are like a really pretty antique copper as well. So there's lots of choices. If you're a gold person, a silver person, a copper person, there's always something there. And I did pair, I thought this would be kind of fun. I wanted to show you that if you are a fan of the Nunn Design antique silver, one finding that goes pretty well with it is stainless steel. So you get a little bit of that darker color. So that's one little tip if you're wanting to match some other like jump rings or earring hooks. Stainless steel goes really nicely with it. And of course, any silver plate, sterling, silver filled will go with the bright one. So that's fun. And Kat's a silver and copper person. I love the silver and copper too. I'm becoming all metal person. Like I used to be such a gold person. I always just went for the antique gold. But now I love all of them, especially the copper. The copper has been my thing this year. Okay, so we're going to make this earring right here. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using one of these settings, which are really cool. And we're going to be putting a stone into it and deciding if we are making a necklace or if we are going to be making another pair of earrings with it. Now, if you are joining us for the first time and this is like a new shopping platform for you, I do want to quickly tell you how this does work. If you are on artbeads.com, I can see your comments. So I can see Diane's, and I can see Sharon's and Kat's, which is wonderful. If you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube or somewhere else, definitely still comment. Just know I can't read them in real time to be able to answer you. There should be a link in the description there that you can hop over to Art Beads so I can read your comments. If you comment here, there's a little heart icon, which I see little floaty hearts, which are so fun. Thank you to whomever is giving me the little hearts. I see them all floating. And then there's also a shopping bag icon if you're here on Art Beads, and you just click on that and it shows everything in the entire show. It'll show the tools, the wire, so you don't have to wait for me to talk about it. It'll be right there and you can add it right to your shopping cart. Okay, so that was just some quick housekeeping things, just to let you know how this works if you are new here. Okay, so we're going to be using our, oh, hello, Hannah from Iceland again. Hello. So we are going to be using our wire looping pliers, our cutters, and 2 pairs of chain nose pliers. So kind of my basic tool set that I use for everything. Now, for this piece here, I want to get started right away. We're going to do some wire wrapping, and you could do a lot of different things with this. You could wire wrap beads on the outside. You could wire wrap beads on the inside. We're going to go across. And what we're going to be using, and this was something kind of fun that I just discovered on the Art Beads website. These are a 22 gauge wire, and it's a little trio set. So you actually got a little bit of each one. And this one they call hematite. And I'm going to say it almost has like a dark blue tinge to it, which I debated using because I'm using these really pretty seed beads right here. But this was kind of a cool color wire that I hadn't seen before. So I was excited when I got that in my little trio pack. And then I got silver and gold as well. So I'm going to be using the silver, and this 22 gauge. So this is a little thicker than some wire that I use. I usually use like a 24 or a 26 when I'm doing my wire wrapping. So what this is going to do is it's going to make these rows nice and strong, and it's going to mean we don't have to do quite as many wrappings because it's going to be a stronger wire to anchor. So that is nice. All right, so we're going to cut ourselves, and I cut myself too much when I did the first sample piece, so I'm kind of trying to see how much I want to cut. I'm going to say probably about, let's go with 10 inches here. It looks to be about 10 inches. Okay, we're just going to cut it off our little spool. We have our spool. And do remember, if you add any of those deal of the day items, there's 3 of them. There's a hoop earring, and 2 cuff bracelets by Nunn Design. They're in the shopping bag. If you add any of those to your order and you cash out, your entire order gets free shipping. So that's a kind of a fun little added thing we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start by wrapping my side of my hoop here, my side of my wire. So I'm just going to take it so I'm holding it against it, and I'm going to go around it and through it. And like I said, this is a 22 gauge wire, so it is a little bit stiffer. Also, I don't have to do quite as many wraps because my anchors are really, really secure with the 22 gauge. So I'm just going to go around it. And I'm actually going up towards the hoop here. And Merry Christmas to everyone. I'm seeing some wonderful Christmas messages. I love it. I am so ready for next week. I'm excited. I think I'm all done except for baking, but all the gifts are done and wrapped. I'm just going to keep going around here. And I want to do about 4 wraps. So you can see right here, we got those wraps right like that. And then I'm just going to take it and kind of get that last one so it's a little bit tighter. And I see Hannah's question, is that free shipping within the US? I want Eric or Michelle, I know they can help answer that. So I believe it is, but I definitely want them to answer that question for sure so that I don't give you the misinformation. Okay, so we've got the wraps. And what we're doing is by starting where you're going up towards the loop, we're now going to do a row of beads, but our wrappings will be below our beads, which is going to make it a little bit of a cleaner look. So I'm going to grab these beads right here. It's a giant, giant tube. Thank you, Michelle, for getting that question. Hi, Kim. Happy Wednesday. And Robin, hello. Okay, so giant tube of seed beads. And there's a couple different colors in here. And I like it that they're shiny and matte. So I'm going to start with the shiny, and I'm going to put 9 beads onto my wire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And there are actually 2 colors of the shiny beads. I was okay mixing them in this design, but you could decide if you wanted just one of the 2 shiny colors. Okay, and we're just going to stripe it across. Now, what we're going to do is when we do our wrappings this time, we're going to go towards the base of it right here. And for those of you just joining us, we see we just got some more people. Hello, we're doing Nunn Design jewelry today. We're creating using Nunn Design components, which are great staples to use when you're designing. And they are all, for one day only, 50% off with the code NUNN50. And not just the ones I'm using in my show. So the ones that on the website too. So you can look throughout the website and there's lots of charms and pendants and links and bezels and jump rings, all sorts of things that you can find and use. And it's a great time to get them. Okay, so see how I'm doing my wrapping and it's all going down. So we're gonna go down and we're gonna do the same number of wraps on each side. So if we started with 4, we're gonna do 4. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our wire to the back, and I want to trim this tail at this point so it's not going to poke me. Just going to trim it off. And what we can do is, because I like to always go tuck my tails, we're just going to go in and tuck our tails. And that basically just means you're pressing the wire down and you're pressing it into the other wrappings so it doesn't poke you. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to add a little contrast by putting a stripe of the matte beads. And both colors come in that tube, which is nice. So again, 9 beads. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Okay, let those guys just slide on down. And this now is in the back. So, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're not overcrowded, because sometimes it works where it's exactly right to have that number of beads. And sometimes you either want to take away a bead or add a bead. You just want it to look right and not be overcrowded. Tuck your tails. I know. It does sound interesting. This is really funny sounding when I see it written out too. Okay, so I've got my stripe here, and now I'm going to come up around the side and through. And I'm adding 3 rows. You could do this whole piece. You could just put the whole piece full of beads here. I thought for the show here, it'd be best to do 3 because it's the same technique kind of on repeat. But if you wanted to, you could definitely add more. So we're going around the sides. So this is what we've got going so far. And if you did get that trio pack, I think the hematite could be really pretty with this too. All right, so I'm noticing that my wire is getting a little kinked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to kind of straighten it out a little bit. Just a little. Okay, now we're going to do our last row, and I'm going to go shiny again. So 1, 2, 2, 2. Oh my gosh, it's jumping off. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Yeah, next Wednesday will actually be Christmas Day. That is so hard to believe. And this is wire, so just remember you kind of need to, you can make it bend how you want it to bend. If it's not looking exactly straight, just kind of keep working with it. Okay, so in this case, what I want to do is, because remember how we talked about when we started? Oh, thank you for the hearts, guys. Okay, when we started, we made our wraps go up towards the loop, and then we came down here, and that's so that the wrappings are below the beads and between the beads. Otherwise, we would have had a wrapping up top here. So kind of the same thing on this side. When we're ending it, I don't want to do my wrappings towards the base because then I'm going to have this kind of weird little wrap hanging out there. So I want to now do my wrappings inside here. And that's just a little finishing technique. It's kind of a personal preference. You don't have to do it by any means. If you are okay with that look of that wrapping there, then that is totally fine. It's just one opinion of one way of doing this. And that's the beauty of jewelry making, is we all do things differently. I always say there's no right or wrong way. This is just how I do it. So it's kind of fun to see how everyone else does it too. All right, and we're just kind of doing our wrappings up in here. And this one kind of went over its neighbor wrapping. Okay, so I want it off to the side. There we go. And I'm going to do one more. Again, because we're using the thicker, and you know what? I know I'm almost done, so I'm going to take part of this tail off to make it a little easier to go through. And because we're using the 22 gauge wire, I don't need as many wraps as if we were using, say, 26 gauge. Okay, so then when you've got it, bring it to the back, trim it, and tuck your tail. Okay, and then we're going to tuck our tail. So then we've got our little decorative beaded accent on our earring, so you can see how the other one looked. So we got our 3 stripes of seed beads. And now what I thought would be really fun is to add these pretty pearls. So you've got even more drama. And I always like a little bit of dangle too. So we're going to be doing some wrapped wire loops, connecting them onto the hoop itself. Oh, thank you, Julie. Yeah, Nunn Design, just the pieces are so fun to use as building blocks. They're great foundation pieces for jewelry. Okay, so I'm going to take a crystal moonlight pearl, and this is in size 5 millimeters. So this is a 5 millimeter pearl. Just put it on the bottom of my head pin. And then my wire looping pliers. And I'm not going to go right at the very tip. I'm going to go just a little bit in, so I have a little bit of a bigger loop. So you can kind of see I'm just slightly in to adjust the size of my loop so it can go around my wire hoop. Okay, so I made a little loop. Now we're going to open it up. Just kind of kink it open a little bit and slip it on so it latches on there, so it just kind of grabs it. And then this was the only tricky part, is you just got to make sure you have an angle where you can grab that base of that loop and then do your wrappings. And we're going to add a total of 5 of these. Oh, yay, Tanya just bought the wire looping pliers and loves them. Yay, I'm so glad to hear that. It's really hard to go back to round nose after you've done the wire looping. At least that's what I find. I get so accustomed to the wire looping. Okay, so now we've got one little dangle on there, and we want a total of 5. Yes, so 8/0 is larger than 11/0. I know, it's so confusing. So the larger the number, the smaller the bead. So a 15/0 is smaller than an 8/0, and that's with wire gauges too. The larger the number, the thinner the wire. It seems almost counterintuitive to me. Like I feel like, oh, the bigger number should be the bigger or the thicker. But yeah, it's not that way for some reason. Okay. Okay, we're just going to do some more wrappings. And I love the crystal moonlight pearl. It's definitely one of my favorites. Okay. And we got 2, and we're just going to keep doing this. We're going to add all 5. Okay, and we're just going to keep doing this. We're going to add all 5. And 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 So did anyone make jewelry gifts for people for Christmas? Oh, yes, Julie. So you could definitely catch this later. Good luck at your appointment. All of these videos are archived and saved. So just go back to artbeads.com/live and you'll find all the shows. You can also look under Artbeads tutorials and there's a list of all the live shows. So good luck at your appointment. Okay, I'm doing my wrappings. Christmas earrings for folks. Very nice. I love it, Sharon. I made my mom a necklace this year. Yes, lots of bracelets this year from Susan. Okay, and Marianne, all kinds of jewelry. Good. It's so special. I mean, it's something people adore and they love, and then the fact that it's handmade makes it extra special. And tons of earrings from Maria. Very nice. Yeah, I love making jewelry as gifts. Earrings are usually my go-to. I'll usually make earrings just because I'm an earring person. So I think I tend to love earrings, so I end up making more earrings than anything else for people. But I've also been crocheting a lot lately too. So that's kind of been added to my handmade mix. Okay. So last one. And don't forget, everything that you see here is in the shopping bag. So if you have a question about what a size is or a color or any of that, it's all in the shopping bag. You can add it right to your shopping cart. And of course, if you're watching this today on December 18th, it is our one-day Nunn Design sale, 50% off, which is a crazy good discount. So half off all Nunn Design with the code Nunn, so NUNN 50. Okay, last one, and then we're done. And then we'll put a little earring hook on this, and then when we've made a really pretty earring. Okay, there's our earring. So you got all of those. You could add more of these too. I put 5, but you could definitely add more. And then for the earring hook that I chose, I liked this one. I thought this was a very elegant one. So I wanted that one with the little ball. How would you use the hoop earrings? Oh, the hoop earrings, do you mean the ones that are part of the deal of the day? I think is probably what you're thinking of. So it's what I've done is I've done peyote. I've done a band of peyote stitch in those hoop earrings. So you do this the band first, and then you can just use some E6000 and glue it in there, which is really pretty. So that's what I've done with those ones. Okay, and our earring is done. All right. So I wanted to then, like I said, I have this here. So I have these here. So I thought what we can do, and I've got these two, we can either make a pretty, oops, I already have a jump ring on here because I was playing with this earlier. So we can either turn this into earrings or we can just make a necklace out of it. So here is the setting, and I put the gold one too into the shopping bag because I thought that these were really fun. So what they match is they match Prestige Crystal 12 millimeter cushion stones, these little stones right here, and they come in a huge variety of colors. And so what we're going to do is we're going to glue it in here, and it fits perfect. So I picked out this really pretty green teal color and then this like purpley pink color. So you can see how sparkly that is. Oh, and Julie's used a cup chain on the hoop. That's a great idea. Oh, cup chain would be beautiful on there. Okay, so what I want to do, because when you set these in, you're supposed to let them dry and cure, especially when you're using E6000. So I feel like what I'm going to do is I'll turn one into an earring so we can see what it looks like, but I'm going to attach it first so I don't have to move it once I put the glue down. So let's go ahead and take a jump ring. Now, Nunn Design also has some great jump rings too. So if you're looking for some really beautiful, like twisted wire jump rings, things like that, Nunn Design has some of those too. Okay, so we're just going to attach this on. Again, the show is all about simple but dramatic jewelry. And I think this qualifies. Okay, so here. So we're putting that setting on first. And I'm going to also add an earring hook too. And I liked this one too because it was a two-tone. So it had like a brighter silver ball and a darker ear wire. So how long to cure? So I think it usually says about an hour before you want to move it, but I let it go cure fully for 24 hours. I just set it aside and kind of accept that I'll be able to wear my design the next day. Okay, so I've got it all set up, and I'm going to set up the other one too. So here is a finished chain necklace. Now, if you have a last minute gift you're trying to do, I can't get it too much easier and quicker than this. So we take a finished chain necklace and we're going to put a jump ring. This is a 5mm jump ring, which is a kind of a nice, universal size here. It's an open one. And we're going to slip this onto it. And then we'll just slip the chain. Okay, and I kind of distorted my jump ring a little. I think I'd go back at the end and make sure I had that jump ring on just right. I've got my hands a little bit further away from me than I would normally do. Okay. All right, so we've got a finished chain necklace. Yeah, I think with the 24 hours, it's always just better to be safe than sorry. And Hannah, I like that you're agreeing. Before you gift it or sell it, you do 24 hours. Yeah, it's just one of those things that you wouldn't want to rush it and have something happen where it pops out or something. Okay, so we've got this on here. We're going to do one of the pretty green and one of the pretty pinky purple. Okay, so I have the E6000. Now, E6000 comes in a bunch of different size tubes. I have to say, I like using the small tube. It's not very expensive. And I'll use the small tube until it's gone, and then I'll get another small tube. I find the bigger tubes, I don't know if everyone else finds this, but they tend to dry out quicker. So I really like the handy little small tube. And the way you open it, this is already open because I was using it the other day, but it has like a little puncture in the cap. So basically it comes sealed. And you just take the cap off. See, it comes out. But you just go boop to puncture it. And then you can put some down. And it does dry very quickly. Well, it takes a while to cure, but I find it gets kind of sticky and tacky pretty quickly. So I just have a toothpick. So I'm going to put some E6000 right on the inside here. And it's not going to take a huge amount because there is actually a nice little surround here of surface area that we're going to be able to adhere to. And I don't want to spill out too much on the sides. But I'm just going to go all the way around. And like I said, you can't get much easier than this. And then I'm just going to take my crystal and plop it in and push down. And that's it. So that was all it took. And that is a beautiful looking little boutique necklace, especially since we're using these Nunn Design components. And that is a gift right there. Quick and easy and relatively inexpensive too. Okay, so let's do the earring now in the pretty pinky purple. So we already attached the components together. Yeah, Kat, I agree. For some reason, those big tubes, they just dry out quicker and then they become hard to squeeze and I don't know. I find the little tubes, I'd much rather just work with little tubes than the big tubes. Okay, so I did that. We've got that all prepped. Just going to take our crystal, plop it on in, press it down, and there we go. So there's another earring all done. And that would be so easy to make a little set of those as well. So simple but dramatic with Nunn Design. All right, guys, that was fun. So we made a pair of earrings, a necklace, and a second earring. And I don't know where okay, here they are. Here they are. Okay. And again, all of the supplies are in that shopping bag. Don't forget the deals of the deals of the day. There's 3 of them. Those 2 cuff bracelets and those earring hoops. If you add those to your cart, and they are more than 50% off for the deal of the day, you will get free shipping for your whole order, and then all Nunn Design today. Today is December 18th. We're having a Deck the Hall sale. All Nunn Design is 50% off, which is incredible. How heavy are the earrings? Great question. Not actually that heavy. Yeah, they're actually not that heavy. So what's nice is, one, we didn't load it with seed beads here. So if you put like more check beads in here or something else, that would add to the weight. But because we have a lot of open space, these actually aren't that heavy. I tested one the other day as I was prepping to see, and they're big, but they're not that heavy. For this one, it is slightly heavier because of this component right here. That's a pretty substantial piece. You can see what it looks like on the back. So this one is heavier than the other one. Great question though, Julie. I love it. And that's the beauty of when we're here live and we can talk back and forth. Those are great questions to ask. All right, I'm going to flip the camera up real quick. I'll show you what these earrings look like on, and then I'll say goodbye until Christmas, guys. All right. Yay. Okay, where are they? Let me put these on. Okay, so simple but dramatic. And here we go. And these are my type of earrings. I love the big earrings, and I just would rather wear neutral clothing with kind of vibrant earrings for me. Okay, those are the fun earrings that we just made. And then Michelle had a good reminder, don't forget to close out your cart, especially during a big sale like this. Get those items while you can. Close out your cart to make sure you secure them, and secure them at the discount. And Merry Christmas, Marianne, and Happy Holidays, and Merry Christmas, Santa Barbara girl. And Kim, thank you guys for joining us. Happy holidays. Have a great rest of this week, getting ready for the holidays. If you're gonna bake or cook or wrap or make gifts, have a blast. So take care, and happy holidays, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Okay. Bye. Oh, great. Marianne checked out. Wonderful. And Tanya tried to check out, but it's charging shipping. Okay, so you, to get free shipping, you need to add one of the deal of the day items. There's 3 of them. There's 2 cuff bracelets. I see there's a little banner popped up, at least on my screen. There's 2 different silver cuff bracelets and a pair of hoop earrings, which are the deal of the day for Nunn Design. And then if you add one of those, it will trigger free shipping for your whole shopping cart. And then I know Michelle is always there too in the background to help if anyone needs some help. Definitely reach out to Michelle. She is able to help sort these type things out. She's amazing. Yes. Okay. So any more, I want to just make sure I'm reading everything before I sign off, guys. But yeah, it's a great sale. So, I mean, I'm definitely shopping this one with the half off because I love Nunn Design. All right. Michelle says Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, everyone, too. All right. Have a great rest of the week. I will see everyone next week. Bye.